everybody, my name's Ed. Okay, this is going to be comic book grab bag. I got a couple of these from my comic book store. Actually, a different branch of my comic book store. But it's you get a package of 10 comic books only for $150. So I got that. So I got two of them. So I thought it'd be fun if we discover what's in them together. So, excuse me. Jesus. I should be I should go out and get some cough drops instead of keep drinking this beer, but whatever. Alright, so let's start with the first one. Careful not to damage the goodies. Alright, so first we have Shaolin. Oh, okay. So we got Shaolin Cowboy. This must be the first series. This is issue 5 by Jeff. Sarah? Okay, it looks pretty interesting. Alright. I like the most recent series that came out last year. So I figured... Oh, here's an ad for V for Vendetta. That shows you how old this is. Oh, what's this? Here is, oh, well, first of all, there's a ton of goddamn ads for V for Vendetta again. Here's a PSA for child abuse, and another ad for V for Vendetta. Ad for Doc Frankenstein. I think I have Doc Frankenstein here too. Here's the Tick in special edition, number 1. The Tick, woo! The Tick, now in color. Okay. Mr. Majestic, number 2. This is Joe Casey and Ed McGuinness. Myth Conceptions. This is from 1989. X-Mutants from Eternity. I never read any of these. I vaguely remember when these came out. This was during the so-called black and white boom. Yeah, this is from 1988. And after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you're getting all of these black and white comics coming out from these fly-by-night operations, and most of them were either rip-offs or parodies of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the X-Men. So, excuse me. Solar, Man of the Atom from Valiant Comics. Penciled by Ron Perlin. Written by Jim Shooter. Alright. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look particularly great either. It looks kind of just this side of okay. Actually, it looks pretty bland, to tell you the truth. Oh, do I still have this comic? Wildstar number 3. Wildstar versus Savage Dragon. I may or may not have. I had this comic book at one time. I don't know if I still have it or not. Written by Al Gordon, drawn by Jerry Oraday. This is from that first generation of Image Comics. It's a pretty traditional, solid superhero comic, it seems like. Okay. Alright. What's this? Wolfpack. 3 in a 12 issue limited series from Marvel. I do not know what this comic book is about. Script by Larry Hama. Pencils by Ron Wilson. Inks by Kyle Baker. Oh, what's this? Oh, an ad for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think this is a video game. So yeah, I'm not too sure what this comic is about. It doesn't look like it has too many fantasy elements. It looks like it's some sort of vigilante crime thing. Maybe it's about a group of young people who take back the streets or something like that. That's kind of what it looks like. It looks like teenagers who stand up to the gangs or something. All right. Manhunter from DC. This is from 88? I'm not super familiar with this version of the Manhunters. Oh, I don't know what the fuck this is. Hey, look, here's an ad for Cosmic Odyssey. But anyway, I see a guy putting on a mask here. And the thing is, looking at the cover, what number is this? Number 4? I thought this was... I know there was some version of the Manhunters that the Guardians of Oa created. I thought that's what this was, but this looks like it's a normal guy. And they were supposed to be the protectors of the universe they came up with before they came up with the Green Lanterns, and they had malfunctioned or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, this looks like a different version. This doesn't look like this is this. This looks like it's something else. Alright. Ooh, this is a Weekly comic book. It's been somebody's basement, laying around. This is Avengers Spotlight, number 30th. A book-length thriller. Not a hoax. Not an imposter. Hawkeye gets shot. Let's see. Oh, wow. This might be interesting. Writer is Steve Gerber. Layouts, Al Milgrom. Inks by Don Heck. I don't know how that's going to turn out. I'm looking at this ad here. Look at that. Is that Fabio? Alright, some of this art here. It looks like very mid-80s art. Hawkeye and Mockingbird. Suit up. Some crazy stuff. Alright. You can tell it's 80s because all the street guys have muscle shirts and headbands. See, here's another dude with a headband. They must be part of the same gang or something. Alright. Stay out of our business, Hawkeye, or you're next. The Stone Perfs. Alright. Okay, and then here we have Detective Comics, The Penguin Affair. 2 of 3. This one says on the cover, 1990. Alright. So, here, plot is Grant and Wolfman. Script is Alan Grant. Norm Breyfogle, I don't know how to say his name, it's the penciler. And Steve Mitchell is the inker. Bird of Ill Omen. Alright. Some of this. Oh, here's the penguin. Heartstrings. I guess he's watching soap operas there. Oh, here's an ad for that Dick Tracy movie with Madonna and Warren Beatty. More penguin stuff. Oh, here's Batman doing his thing. All right. Okay, so that's the first package. We're going to take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll open the second package. Let's see here. Let's do it this way. Okay, so we're back and we're going to do part 2 of Grab Bag Comics. So let me get a little steak knife out here. Be careful not to damage the funny books. Okay, so first one is The Shadow #2. This was from this mini series that came out in the late 80s, written and drawn by Howard Chaykin. I actually remember having this back in the day. I'm not so sure I really appreciated it at the time, but you know, it's very, very typical of Howard Chaykin of that era or of that time. You see from the layouts and the blood and everything. What else here? Lords of the Ultra Realm, a 6-issue deluxe format miniseries by Doug Moench and Pat Broderick. I think I halfway remember this ad. I don't remember ever seeing or reading this comic though. The ultimate battle of good versus evil. Okay. Alright. Oh, here. I do remember this, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and I'm actually pretty sure I actually had this. This is a new title, a new direction. It can only mean one thing: Green Magic is back. Don't miss the premiere issue on sale now of the Green Lantern Corps. So this is issue 201, and this is right after Crisis on Infinite Earths ended. So, yeah. So Hal Jordan came back, and issue 200 of that was like the last regular issue, and so it was slightly revamped, where it's Hal, John Stewart, Cat. I can't remember the name of the young girl character who, on this cover, she's still a kid, but they ended up aging up. So she's like in her 20s or something. And then she and Hal start dating, which at the time it's like, whatever. But looking back, you're like, here's Chip. I can't remember the crustacean looking guy. And here's, what's his name, who calls everybody Poozer. And Guy Gardner was in the comic too. But he was always flying around doing his own thing. Oh, here's an ad for the science fiction adaptations. There were graphic novel adaptations of science fiction novels. So you've got Ray Bradbury, Robert Silverberg, Frederick Pohl. So I remember seeing these ads, and I think I remember seeing one or two of these in stores. I'd never read any of these. These covers are like, who are these covers by? Let's see here. I'm trying to see if I can read any names here on the as far as the art. I can't tell. Let's see here. Well, here for Nightwings, you can see Carrie Bates, Gene Colan, Neil McFeeters. I don't see any credits for this one, but I'm pretty sure that image is Bill Sienkiewicz. And what does this one say? Merchants of Venus. Victoria Peterson and Neil McFeeters. Okay. All right. I don't know what the fuck this is. Titan Comics. Oh, this has got to be recent. $3.99. It's a Troop. And there's a little a little testimonial for Bleeding Cool of all things. The Troop is a thrill ride of a read, immediate high octane action and turmoil. I don't know about that. Alright. So here, let's see here. There's some of the art going on. Ooh, look at that. It's hand coming out of the toilet. Toilet water ghost hand. Okay. Bloody lady in a bathtub. Some nice paper here, and I like the colors, or I like the production values. It looks like it's some sort of, I don't know, teens versus the horror demons or something, possibly. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's some sort of pseudo horror-ish type thing. Yeah. But look, here's some people tied up, and they've been murdered. And dude sees it and he's like, ah! Okay, that's what it looks like. It looks like some sort of quasi-horror type thing. Alright, Image Comics. This is Mech Destroyer. I'm laughing because, man, I don't know. It just looks like, you know, sullen teen post-adolescent dude. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, I was a sullen post-adolescent male myself, but it's just like, he's there. He's got his gun. He's got his uniform all open because, he doesn't give a shit, because he's a rebel. It says story by Robert Chong, pencils and inks by J. Kim, assist by Young Lee, colors by Powerhouse Effects. Special thanks Jim Valentino, Brent Braun, and Anthony Bazzi. Okay, so we see some anime, manga inspired stuff going on here. And he's like, come along, little doggies, because he ain't scared. A lot of crazy things, bullets and flying, little missiles are flying. Our guy is super cocky, because that's just how badass he is. Alright. Okay. Alright, I don't know how interested I am in that one, on this one. Mech Destroyer. Oh, here's some sketches. I like these behind the scenes sketches. Ministry of Space. Final issue of the critically acclaimed sold-out miniseries by Warren Ellis, Chris Weston, and Laura Depew. I don't know how to say her name. Depew. D-E-P-U-Y. I have not read this. I'm aware of it existing, but I have not read it. And here is the ad for Noble Causes. I haven't read this comic, but I know it had its comic had its fans when it was out. What if the Kennedys had superpowers? Oh, this is interesting. Zorro by Alex Toth. Oh, and this. I remember this existing, but I've never read it. Violent Messiahs. And that was one of those things when I was just getting back into comics. What is this? Yeah, 2001. And like seeing stuff. And it was like, Savage Dragon. She's dead, Dragon. And you killed her. Okay. Uh-oh. Ha ha ha. Alright, we'll get to that in a second. This is Countdown. DC's Countdown. I'm sorry, let me put it together. DC's Countdown. Sorry. Which was this series they came out with either in conjunction with or right before they did Infinite Crises. Wait. Okay, now I'm getting it mixed up in my head. There was Infinite Crises, there was 52, and then there was But and there was this thing. And then in any case, Infinite Crises brought back the whole multiverse. Crisis on Infinite Earths destroyed the multiverse. 25 years later, DC brings it back. Or no, we'll say 30 years later, right? No, 20 years. We'll say 20-ish years. Because Crisis on Infinite Earths is like 2000 or 1986-ish, 85, 86. This is 2007, so yeah. Stretching the Seer. Paul Dini, head writer with Tony Bedard. Pencils, Carlos Mango. Inks, or not Mango. Mangno and Jay Leisting inks. I don't know what's going on here. It looks like it's the elongated man getting stretched apart by Killer Croc or somebody. I don't know what's going on here. These look like monitors. That's what it looks like. These look like the monitors, I guess, perhaps. Oh, here's an ad for Jeff Johns' Stars and Stripes. That's the Star Spangled Kid who became Stargirl. 49 and counting, Karate Kid. And this looks like Roy Harper here. Justice League of America, Brad Metzger and Ed Benes. And with covers by Michael Turner. Yep. Jack Kirby's Fourth World. I think these were the black and white reprints, I think. Right? I'm not 100% certain. It says Omnibus. Maybe I'm wrong. I know there were some black and white reprints that came out. No. The Omnibus wouldn't have been in black and white, I don't think. Oh, here's some flashback, guys. This is the Mirror Master, the Pied Piper, and the somebody or another. Right? What else is going on here? They're having a little argument. Mary Marvel. She's being chased by Black Adam. With his weird forced perspective there. It says History of the Multiverse. You hear all the Monitor guys standing around being cosmic, I guess. Well, there's some Flash stuff. Alright. Okay, alright, here's what I was laughing at. This is some fucking romance comic, and the top of this is cut off. And the thing is, because I'm just barely old enough to remember the early mid-70s, I remember sometimes, I'm not too sure, what the deal was with this, but you would be at the candy store or the drugstore or whatever, and you could buy like 3 comics in a pack for whatever, 50 cents or some shit like that. And the cover, the title would be either razored off or the front page would be completely taken off, and maybe the middle maybe the comic book in the middle still had the cover on it. And the whole deal with that was, well, I don't know the exact whole deal. Somebody out there who's watching this video does, but I know that was one of those things where you're legally not supposed to resell it or whatever. And this, I don't know. it was just one of those things where they had to take the title off so they could repackage it and redistribute it and resell it or whatever. But I remember being a little kid, being like maybe 6 or whatever, and I know I've told this story before. Like adults would like give adults and people in my family would give me comic books, and I literally could not read them. And most of the time, that's what it was. I mean, sometimes they just buy me some comic book and just bring it home and get, you know. But sometimes we'd be out somewhere, like I said, at this store or that store, and there'd be these little packets, and yeah, and there would be like, here, you're a kid, kids read comics, but yeah, some of my earliest memories of comics are these comic books that were bought new, or I guess they do it this way, new, but they didn't have covers on them or whatever, and yeah, so that's why I was laughing when I saw this. That's obviously what this was, and it's obviously some romance comic. And I kind of wish I could get into like romance comics. I just don't. It's just one of those things where I need more time. I need more money and more time to get into like creepy and. Let's see here. What is this? Oh, here we go. This is Sacred Hearts 139 from 1969 by National Periodical Publications. So this is a DC comic. Oh, that's another thing here. You can see whoever cut off the cover went too deep, and they cut the splash page as well. But having said that, I'm trying to look at this art. I'm trying to figure it out. If I had to bet money on it, I'd say Vince Colita is involved in this art. I don't know if he did the pencils and ink. I'm sorry, I'm like looking at stuff, but just to finish my thought, he at least did the inks here. This is what I'm laughing at. I'm laughing at this panel. They're dancing, right? And this guy's like, I'm all lit up, chick. You're turning me on. Roberta, are you sure that's respectable? But what's funny is, it looks like he's punching her in the gut or something. I mean, man, this is so fucking awkward looking. Brother. Alright. Let's see here. Ann Martin, Counselor at Love. I don't know who that is. How can I tell him the truth? Okay, some more art. Alright. Hey, Top Hit Records, 75 cents and up. Singles, LPs, tape cartridges. 5 record set free. Oldies and goodies. But it doesn't look like they name any artists. Oh, yes, they do. Oh, Jesus, fuck. I'm going to sprain my eye trying to read this shit. Young Rascals, Turtles, Jefferson Airplane, Music Explosion, The Association, The Happenings, Aretha Franklin. See? The Animals, Herb Alpert, Beach Boys, Beatles, Johnny Mathis, Elvis Presley, Stevie Wonder, and many more. Nancy Wilson, Bob Dylan. Alright. Happenings! I guess it's a little fashion thing. Because girls like fashion. This one. This art here isn't bad for this last story. Hide from Love. I actually kind of like this art. I'm not sure who did it though. That's one thing about a lot of these romance comics from like back in the day. They didn't always give credit to the artist. I don't know why. I mean, sometimes some people would stick a signature or something in there. Oh, and look at this. Here's ads for Lois Lane and Wonder Woman. If you like romance mixed with high adventure. So obviously they're like, hey girls, since you're girls, buy these superhero comics with girls in them. So Lois Lane, and then the all new Wonder Woman. This is Mod Wonder Woman. And what's funny about this is it's the incredible I Ching and the new Wonder Woman. I Ching was like the guy who taught Wonder Woman martial arts. So then I guess because martial arts was a big thing in the early 70s, I guess that's why his name is in the title. I don't know. Well, that's not bad. That art there is not bad. Oh, check this out. 100 little dolls, all for $1. If this comic was aimed at boys, it'd be 100 little green plastic soldier men. But because it's aimed at girls, it's 100 dolls. And what's this? Florentine lace, ice cologne, and Everly hormone cream. All right. 5-piece gift of glamour. Okay. This cover, I'm trying to figure out who did this cover because this cover looks pretty good. Maybe, I'm going to guess it's Dick Giordano, possibly. Anybody's got an opinion? Please let me know. But if I was going to put money on it, that's what I would guess. Okay, Powers number 9. No, this video is getting kind of long. Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Dean, Avon Dean. And the premise behind this comic, didn't they do a series about this? They did like a live action series that was PlayStation or something. Does that sound right? Like recently, like in the last year or two. The premise is basically it's these two cops, and they live in the world of superheroes, and they kind of have to deal with everything, but they have to deal with everything on kind of the street level. And it basically comes out that the dude, the big dude, actually used to be a superhero himself, but he had to retire from that lifestyle. Then he became a cop. All right, a couple more here. Frank from Nemesis Comics. Never heard. Oh, okay. Never heard of this comic book, but now I get it. Look at the back. Boris Karloff, right? Script is D.G. Chester. Adapted from a treatment by Craig Mitchell, Denny Cohen. Oh, Denny Cohen pencils. J.J. Birch and Pat Gabriel inks. So maybe it says from a treatment, so it makes me think this was a pitch for either a movie or a TV series. And so I guess it must be an updating of the whole Frankenstein monster thing. And who doesn't like an updating of the Frankenstein monster? Ah! Ultraman. Ships. April 94. Alright. It's more Frankenstein stuff. Alright. Anyway. Okay. Legion 90. No, Legion 89. Alright. Is this Kevin McGuire? Looks like a Kevin McGuire cover, anyway. Alright. Okay. Plot Keith Giffen and breakdowns. Script Alan Grant, Barry McKinson, Penciler, Mark McKenna, Inker. Heroes and villains. Nude man. Butt cheeks. Ha ha. Okay. Alright. I don't know what's going on, but it looks interesting. The Cult, Sonic Boom. No, The Cult Sonic Temple, Sonic Boom. The long-awaited new album featuring the single Fire Woman. I have this record. Fire! Smoking is arising. Yep, here's Lobo. Fire! Smokestack lightning. Oh, ad for Batman Year 3. I don't think I've ever read that. What else they got going on here? This art looks really nice. Oh, ad for Hawk World. Alright. This looks like this might be a fun comic to read. If nothing else, like I said, the art looks good. Gerald Jones and Mike Perlbeck, El Diablo. Let's see. Yep. This is like a cliffhanger. Let's not give that away. Ad for new Teen Titans annual. Oh, the Art of Walter Simonson. Yes, it is a dinosaur. And then, of course, on the back is a big ad for the Michael Keaton Batman movie. Okay, last couple comics. Shaolin Cowboy, number 3. And Doc Frankenstein. This is written by the Wachowski brothers. These are the people who did The Matrix. And created by Jeff Darrow and Steve Scroce. Or Scroach. Scroach or Scroachy. So more Frankenstein. There's lots of jets and things fighting. And there's a woman in a cocktail dress. Clergyman. And here's Doc Frankenstein. Don't move. You don't move. All right. I guess that's concept designs. Now what is this? Oh, check this out. Matrix Comics Volume 1 and Volume 2. In stores. Both volumes. It looks like there's some interesting creators involved in some of these. See Neil Gaiman, Ted McKeever, David Lapham, Bill Sienkiewicz. I see Pete Bagg, of all people. Bill Sienkiewicz, Ted McKeever again. Kieran Grant? I'm not sure if I recognize that name or not. Paul Chadwick, alright. I might hunt these down, I don't know. And again, more ads for V for Vendetta. Alright, okay, so that's it. This video went on a little bit longer than I expected. Thanks for everybody. If you hung out to the end, thanks, and you guys have a great day.